Welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna talk about strat bombing military factories. And why strat bomb military factories, you might ask yourself, and I'm gonna give you the answer now. The answer comes down to production efficiency, because production efficiency will be lost to a degree when you start repairing your factories. So now France has bombed some factories here. We're gonna roll camera and you will see that the efficiency is going down. This is the mean efficiency for all the 4 lines. So it will be even more apparent when we start repairing these one down here. So we lose a little efficiency. And looking back down here, we lost half of the efficiency of those 2 factories. And this comes down to 2 things. First, if you have dispersed industry, because dispersed industry gives you a bigger production efficiency base, so even if you get bombed, you won't lose as much efficiency because you will have more base efficiency. So not just the protection from factory bomb vulnerability, you also get more base when it comes back. But even worse is if you do this against someone with concentrated industry, because concentrated industry doesn't have that base. So this will give us a huge difference in result. So now we're gonna look at concentrated industry. We have concentrated instead. We need to put the AI off. And you will see when we start rolling here that the efficiency coming back will be much lower with concentrated. You see it's a lot less than in the dispersed scenario. But another really interesting thing, and I want to point out that it takes longer now for the industry to come back, and that means that the repair time is bigger because the industry has been damaged more. So this is not just a result of concentrated industry, it's also a result for how much damage your industry has taken. But as you see, it's down to 13%, 12%, so we lost a lot. Germany lost a lot of efficiency here, so even if it's repaired, it will take a huge time for this industry to actually be effective and do something with the economy again, especially on concentrated. But it also depends on how damaged the industry was. The more you damage the industry, the less efficiency will be regained when you repair that military factory. And I tried to find this in the defines to see where exactly I can see how much it will regain, but I can't find anything. So please, if you know how this is correlated, how much damage an industry has taken and how much of the efficiency you will have left, please write in the comments, because that is really, really interesting. And another thing making this really, really good is that even if you have dispersed industry, the regain time is slower at the end. So if you get down to 13%, you see here we regain almost a 0.5% each day. So it's kind of quick to get up that first efficiency. But the last efficiency, you see here, it's down to 0.15 per day, and it will get slower and slower. So even if you just shave off 10, 20, 30%, it will take a long time to recover that. So you don't have to push it down to 10% or 12, 15% or 20%. Just pushing down like 20, 30% will give a huge impact on the enemy industry, because that regain time is so long in the end. So yeah, you don't have to bomb it down perfectly to the bottom, even if that's more fun. And as always, I just want to point out that most of you watching are not yet subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell button, and if you want even more guides than our Monday guides, consider being a Patreon. We have a lot of guides. I will put them up, there on the screen. A lot of guides coming out, 2 more guides a month for 1 each second week, and a lot of other content. So please check out our Patreon site if you want to support us. And yeah, gonna go do it quick this time, gonna go on with the guide. And since most people are not really thinking about getting bombed, and even more that they will lose all efficiency when you get bombed, because the basis for this guide was me talking to Badger and he not knowing about this. And I thought if he doesn't know about it, there will be plenty more who doesn't. But this also means that if you play multiplayer, most people adding equipment will add it like this, and it will go to the bottom of the production queue, which means that probably the best equipment, the newest equipment will be furthest down on the queue. And as you saw, we bombed the furthest down first. So this is not random. If we add this one, this is what will be bombed first. So it might be that when you start strat bombing military factories, you actually bomb out the most important equipment of the enemy player. It's his newest tanks, it's his newest airplanes. So this can be really, really good when you're playing in a multiplayer game. Another real fun part is how repair works, because you can repair in one state at a time. So Hessen can repair one military factory at a time. So if you have more military factories, you start queue up the repair. So looking like France is a perfect example where you want to bomb your enemy if you just don't run over him at the first second. But if we look here, we gotta check the military factories. In Ile-de-France, they have 19 military factories, 19 of their 54. So not really half, but close by. It's not more than a third of the military factories. If we start bombing here, he can only repair one military factory at a time. So this will be extremely hurtful if you bomb Ile-de-France, because you will wipe out a third of his military factories and he will repair them really, really slow, because he can only repair one at a time. So spreading out your bombers are not as effective as if you can bomb down heavily in the industrialized zone with a lot of military factories. That's really, really hurtful, and it will take a long time for him to repair all those factories. So a lot of mills in the same place, it's not the way to go. So yeah, I think that's probably it. It's a great strategy in multiplayer also. It was banned for a long time in a lot of servers, but it's coming back since it's not that overpowered anymore. But it's really good if you have a lot of micros playing a miner and going in and just destroying other miners, because they won't even see you come in, because you need to micro your air all the time. So you can go in, bomb for a couple of months, totally wreck the military factories of the opponent, giving him the efficiency deficit for 1 year after that, and you can just move on to the next victim and the next victim and the next victim, and you will really decimate the military capacity of your enemy. And I want to remind you guys, it's a military game. I know people love the civilian factories, but you want those military factories. That's what wins you the game. So yeah, I think that's it. Please go out and strat bomb your enemies. It's really, really fun, and it's really, really annoying to be on the end side of the bombs. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.